Everybody's infected. You, if you get bit or scratched by a walker,
Yeah.
it is just...
I don't know about scratched, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people have been scratched by them. And they
Yeah,
die.
I didn't remember someone being scratched. I thought it was always a bite.
The,
I thought it was because something usually
no,
a bite.
No. In the prison, that big fat guy, he got clawed up pretty bad in the back with the bones.
Yeah, but that just means, okay, that means he could have died there, but then after that he got overtaken, didn't he?
He did, but it's been like...
That was more in Resident Evil. That was like, it was a bite or a scratch, or in the Romero
They've
films.
talked about it in this. Bitten or
Did they?
scratched.
I don't
They said
know.
as long
I have
if
to go
it,
back.
they definitely have. They said, I don't know, I can't recall a scene where we've seen someone die from something else, but we haven't seen otherwise. And I don't think we're going to see.
We don't have to
otherwise.
further discuss it. Those are stupid. I just want to just
but yeah,
pose
definitely.
that
Like
question.
they've used them like as landmines before, just heads in the ground. So
That's
you
fine.
take that head. Whoever opens the door next, you just throw him the head. He'll catch it out of instinct, or at least let it hit him. He'll probably bite him. Or you hold the head, you hold it by the hair.
Oh, the head would still work, you think, even after that? I don't know.
Definitely. We've seen it. We've seen it happen. We saw Herschel's head just lying on the ground, like chomping its jaw.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen other heads just kind of doing that.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. I would keep the whole thing intact and just like let it loose when the next person comes out. Because she has rope in there, so she could have put that to use. But she can't see anything. But
yeah, keep the whole thing intact. It's harder for you to control.
it is.
Take the head off, just hold it by the hair and wait.
You could, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I would have tried to like.
Oh, there are so many different options. She chose the worst option.
Oh yeah,
is
for
do
sure.
nothing.
Every decision she made since she went in there has been the worst so far for sure. If she wasn't dead yet, she's made the worst options.
Yeah, worst decisions
ever.
There we go.
The comic book guy voice. Worst decision ever.
And to continue with this excitement, Maggie is outside of the gates of the hilltop, digging up a blueberry bush. She's real stoked that she can probably move that into the hilltop's gates, right on the inside. Now they're gonna have a sweet new blueberry bush. Things are really looking up for the hilltop. Blueberries equal good warriors. It's they're gonna win this war.
Yeah, I
they
just
got
love
blueberries.
blueberries.
Gregory is
you
also
put it in yogurt,
out
but I don't think they make yogurt. They don't churn yogurt there, do they?
No, they need Morgan to do that. He's got the cheese skills.
Right.
They
got cows.
Yeah, maybe.
Daryl said so.
Daryl loves his cows.
He does.
Gregory comes up. That's why he wants to go back to the hilltop so bad. He's like,
I love them cows.
Forget this kingdom. I'm going back to the hilltop. They must have cows at the kingdom too.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe the tiger ate it. Shiva ate it.
Gregory comes. Is it Gregory? Yeah. Gregory comes up and does some fake apologizing before fighting off the urge to murder Maggie in the field. He
actually convinced me a little bit that he was actually approaching her in the regard. I'm always thinking in the back of my head he has that arrangement with Simon, and then it's like, okay, when he has that temptation when the knife's out, when he's just watching her back, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so he totally brought that down right away, which is fine. I didn't mind this at all. Yeah, actually,
it surprised me that he decided not to Maggie.
Who's it happening to now?
It surprised me that he decided not to murder Maggie out of his own volition. Like I
don't think he can.
Well, he was about to, and then he's like, I can't, and he kind of turned away, and then he noticed the walker, and that's when that happened.
I just feel like he doesn't have a stomach for it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, probably not, because he couldn't kill that other walker, so he's like, Maggie, you do it. But originally, he doesn't want a pregnant woman to... he wants to protect the pregnant woman instead of having the pregnant woman protect him.
And that's why I felt like it was convincing at first.
Yeah, what's not convincing? Maggie's pregnancy.
That's not convincing at all. Maybe he's like, you're not pregnant.
Like... 100% right. She's lost that baby.
Yeah. What was interesting though,
like there's no baby. Like it was.
It's still like a really slow growing embryo. I don't know. I don't know. But what was interesting though here, it's like you remember these little things that Gregory probably said for the people of Hilltop to be convinced that he's the right leader. Remember the little things that he says that like so Dr. Carson's gone now, so why are you still here? It's like, oh, you said he might be back. Isn't that what you said?
Or were you lying?
Were you lying? And she's calling him out. And then, like, when after the whole Walker ordeal, and she's like, oh, it's his first time, let up on him. He's like, oh, that's not what he told us. So basically, like, Gregory's credibility and integrity all coming down together, like, really hard.
He should have killed Maggie right there, but because the second Walker comes out while Maggie's killing the other Walker.
Right.
Gregory is useless, and he gets pinned down by it. He's like, Maggie, save me, save me. She comes over, kills the walker, and then some Hilltopians see it.
Right.
And Maggie, I don't know. It almost seems like she's trying to cover for him, except she does the worst save ever and says, "Oh, he hasn't killed one before. He's learning."
But that is the best thing to do.
That's not the best thing. That's really
okay. It was emasculating. It was already emasculating that she
Yeah.
saved them already. Just to say, like, okay, well, poor kid, he hasn't done this before because she's seen that look before when someone hasn't done it before. So she basically relates to that. And then, like, but then, she just made him look even worse because he probably mentioned that, he's probably, like, towered over so many walkers that he's killed.
And how do you survive this long without killing
I don't
one
know.
walker?
Well, maybe he's kind of like Eugene in a way, only with the drinking problem. Maybe it's not a problem.
It hasn't become a problem.
I don't think it has been a problem.
It's not a problem until you run out, David.
Oh, God, that was good. I like that.
At Oceanside, Tara holds Cindy and Tatiana at gunpoint and tries convincing them to join them, catches them up to speed on what's going to happen if they don't help them, but time runs out. And
Man, they're really anal on time there. That was
it's like, well, you gotta give me an answer right now. Actually, it's too late, and the charges go off.
Yeah, but they found out the gun was empty that Tara was using, right?
Soon. They haven't yet. The Oceansiders are being herded around like a terminus.
Right,
Rick's group is using the, what they learned at terminus to gather all these people into one area.
Right.
Rick neutralizes the group, holds them all at gunpoint. Rick's group does this, not necessarily Rick. He comes in later. Cindy and Tatiana flip the tables on Tara and take her hostage. This is when they find out the gun's empty. Probably the only reason they didn't kill her right away. Though Tatiana really wants to do it. Rick says...
Not Tatiana, Cindy. Oh, wait, who's Tatiana? Who's Cindy?
Tatiana's the grandmother.
Oh, Tatiana's the grandmother. Yeah, that makes sense. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Rick says they want to wrap this up quickly. This is about what they have and what they need. Tatiana threatens to kill Tara. But Rick says they're taking the guns no matter what. Killing Tara isn't going to change that.
Yeah, exactly. They totally negated her argument, and she still tried to put up with the fact that she could still try to win this even by dying. And you're like, well, no.
Yeah, well, Tatiana, she's more like, well, you know what? I know that if I kill Tara, I'm going to die, but that's how much I believe in this cause.
Right,
but then at this point, you're like, yeah, she's probably going to kill Tara until Tara spots Michonne in the tree, and we get the view from the scope of the rifle. Yeah, where she's like, Michonne, don't.
Yeah, I like the way Tara handled herself here. Like, she was like, honestly, she was awesome here. I actually really liked her, the way she portrayed herself. It was really. It
was a redeeming.
She had nothing to be redeemed
character.
about. Like, I've always.
She has something to redeem.
Well, because that
episode, the whole Oceanside episode.
That wasn't the last episode. That was like at the beginning of the season.
That was the last Oceanside episode, though.
But yeah, fine. Well, that was. I don't feel like anything that she did was like
that whole episode. Yeah.
That was a horribly written episode. We have nothing against Tara's character, is what I'm saying. So blame it on I blame it on the narrative, not on Tara.
I blame that she was out for 2 weeks and she found nothing, except for a bunch of sunglasses.
I don't know. You go somewhere and you don't find anything, whatever. It's like she's kind of relatively new at this. It's just because she went with Heath, she's supposed to get a lot of help from him, but he was being useless too. But then the narrative was just, it's the wit led her to Oceanside and then how she got out. That's, you don't blame the character, you blame the writers of the show. Yeah. That's why I keep blaming like the writers for everything, even for like little character traits. I was blaming Morgan. I wasn't blaming Morgan for what he did. I was blaming how they wrote him out to be. Like, it's how they. It's like that's the worst decision you can have him do, and it's it's not because the character is hateable. Well, it makes him
character is super hateable.
Well, yeah, he's super hateable. He's unapologetic right now, and it's just it's they wrote him to be that way, and that's kind of a shame because it could have been better.
Oh yeah,
way better.
But it could have been worse.
I don't know about worse.
I'm trying to give the show a bit of credit,
It's hard. It's really hard, Matthew. We have to admit this. This is not a good season. We started this. We covered a pretty good season.
Yeah.
And then it's just.
It was a good season. Season 1 was a good season.
Except
for Vatos. That was a bad episode.
That was I when I rewatched it, I'm like, this is actually a really bad episode. I was just like it was completely overshadowed by the rest of the season because first of all, you're excited that The Walking Dead is on TV.
Do you remember how powerful Tell to the Frogs was when Shane beats up Carol's husband, and the music is just picking up, and he's like, "I'll beat you to death. I'm gonna beat you to death."
Well, he goes and says basically, if you harm any one of them, I will not stop. Do you understand me? He said that, like, I will not stop. Like that was insane. And I was still going for Shane, but they portray him to be so bad, and then everybody else kind of agrees with him in a way. But it kind of sucks for Carol because she kind of had to treat him afterwards, right? You know, that's the other thing. That's the consequence to that, right?
That's the thing. This is the whole thing about Shane is he can do the right thing, but no one's ever on his side, and then they'll pick up the pieces he made and blame him.
Pretty much, but then he kind of like revert to his mentality at some point too.
At
some point, you had to be like Shane to get through the world.
Everybody's like Shane now.
But you couldn't be like Dale. Dale is the right. Like it's like, you know how Morgan is, like the way you before all this happened. Morgan has the right idea to be like, you know, life is precious, especially in a world like this. It should be, but it's hard to practice. It's hard to preach. Yeah. And same thing with Dale. Dale has this moral code where you want to practice it, but now he died, so no one has that morality anymore. Yeah. It's kind of like when you let go of Frank Darabont. The show's not good anymore. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, you start off with Herschel not wanting to harm any life, not wanting to kill a single walker.
That's true too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
End of that season, he is mowing them down with a shotgun, an endless shotgun.
Well, that's because they're about to attack the family at that point. At that point, like your morale is kind of stretched thin when it's tested.
It's true, but that's just like that's a good example of.
And you never ran out of ammo
versus no Darabont. Oh yeah, and you endless shotgun. He fires that thing like 25 times.
He's great.
You never see him reload it.
Yeah.
Let's we're getting into the weeds again here. Let's go into
good times though, right?
Good times, better times, I'd say. Tatiana,
a simpler time,
is knocked out now by Cindy. Just as a horde of walkers shamble up and Enid is left stupefied. They really hung the camera on Enid's mouth agape.
She finally had a gun.
On
her way in, she did not have a gun.
Yeah. Well, they've taken all the guns.
No. This is before they taken the guns. I'm saying on the way in, she did not have any gun. She was unarmed.
Yeah.
And then when they decided to round up the Oceanside people from Oceanside, she had a gun. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, finally they gave her a gun. That's the right time to give her a gun. But why didn't she have one walking in anyway? Everybody else did. Erin's boyfriend had an assault rifle.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't want to trust Enid with a gun. She could She could be a savior for all we know. Still, true. She could be.
Is she the little bird that Negan's referring to?
That's the thing. She might be.
The thing is, I was reading Movie Pilot and like, who could that little bird be? And they thought of Ezekiel before Enid. Thinking to myself, that's a poor. Like, I could have brought this article again because I used to I used to wail on Movie Pilot, but this is like. It's like you thought of Ezekiel. I know you want to take up space in your article here, but don't nominate Ezekiel.
No. Like if it's anybody. It's gonna be Enid, but they have not laid the groundwork.
No, it's definitely. I think it's Gregory. That's the most. That or him or Dwight, pretty much. That was the obvious choices to me.
Yeah, that's true. Those
are the obvious, but it could be something. Maybe they have a good twist. I don't know. Maybe you want to have faith in the show. Hopefully, it's this.
I mean, there was a speculation about Enid being one of the wolves, and that fell apart because there's no more wolves left.
Maybe she still's a wolf.
Maybe she is. She's gonna paint a big old W on her forehead.
No, she wipes her sweat off her forehead, and all of a sudden you see the wolf tattoo on her forehead.
Oh, it's a tattoo. She's just been using a lot of cover up.
Exactly. Yeah. That'd be a great twist.
Yeah, you know what? There's no way she's a savior because we see her have one-on-one conversations with other saviors.
I think it was Rapey Davey that told her to, that was taking her balloons. I remember him. That's where because I couldn't remember where he was before. So it's like, you remember me from last night's action? Like, well, I don't remember you at all, and last night's action was not an option for us right now.
Yeah. So if they do make Enid one of the saviors or a little spy for the saviors, wouldn't make any sense. She has not been treated very well.
It makes more sense in Ezekiel.
Definitely. So now the group. Did it bother you how the group used a ton of bullets to take down these walkers?
No, me, it was the dynamite.
Okay, dynamite, sure, they shouldn't be using that dynamite, but that was for like a flash effect. They really wanted to like scare them into that one place. But they're using tons of bullets. That's what they're here to get. They're here to get bullets and guns. You got to make money you got to spend money to make money, I guess.
I kind of had a discussion with my brother. He said, "Well, you got to survive too. I mean, like, what are you gonna do if you're not? You just gotta
use your knives."
There was quite a bit. They weren't even sure if the people from Oceanside were to help either, and they looked pretty good. You had that little girl, Amanda, I think. What was her name? Was her name Amanda?
Rachel?
Or Rachel? I can't remember.
The little girl? The one that Tara gave the finger to?
Exactly, yeah.
That's Rachel.
Yeah, that's Rachel. She has some feist in her. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
I like that. Obviously, you don't give her a gun because she might shoot them, but at the moment, anyway.
Yeah. Was it her fighting, or there was another woman with short, dark hair?
No, it was her. You recognize it was her. She was wearing like that beige top, blue jeans.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure it was her. She did a pretty. I was like, whoa, she took down a walker very nicely.
Okay, sure, yeah, but she's not the one that Rick shook hands with later.
No. It was is it Natanya? No, who is it?
No, it was neither of them.
No,
some woman, I don't know her name.